Hi everyone. Today we're just going to cover our lesson that we had done before, just to show you how to use Microsoft Paint 3D. So the first thing is this is going to your assignment that was already assigned, where you had to do your Giorgio Morandi a photographic experiment. These were the instructions, and these are your works that you should have actually started to turn them in. Some of you have them missing. So I'm going to go back to instructions here. What you're going to first need is you're going to need Paint 3D. So I'm going to go to my Start menu. And what you can do is you can scroll down on the left side until you find Paint 3D. Here it is here. Another way you can search for it is you can just, once you open up the Windows Start menu, you can go ahead and type in Paint. And as you're typing it in, it's going to fill in the apps that's already available. And you notice here it is again, Paint 3D. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the scrolling way of doing it. And what I mean by this is when you scroll down to Paint 3D, one of the best things you can do with Windows is you can right click on the app and then pin it to the start. So when you pin it to the start, you see it appeared here. So I'm going to click on that and I'm going to open up Paint 3D. Okay, we're going to go to new project here. Now this is the canvas itself. So this is the size of your canvas. Later on, we're going to have to resize it based on the picture that you're going to use. So this is essentially, this is Paint 3D. Today we're just going to be using, at the top here, we'll use the Brushes app and the Canvas app, and that's pretty much it. And then later on, I'll show you how to take a screenshot or save your work in this area here. Okay, so but before we begin, let's go to menu. Let's go ahead and start to save this. So you see some of my experiment, my painting drawings examples for you guys previously. So here we're going to click on save or save as. It's new, so I would probably just go ahead and click save. And then it's going to ask you a name and where to save it. So this is asking to save it as a PNG. So actually that's not what you want to do. So let's cancel that. What I really wanted to do was I wanted to save as. This way I get the choice of Paint 3D project, not these two, but a Paint 3D project. So I'm going to click on here, Paint 3D project. Give it a name, and the name that I want you to use is basically your class project and class name. So let's first off start off with your name. So um, I'll start with my name underscore the class underscore, and then this is the title should be my Morandi, like the title of the assignment itself, my Morandi digital painting. I'm just going to shorten that. And then this is going to be called, what I'm going to call it, stage. Oh, actually, no, I don't need to do stage. That's for the screenshot. So this is going to be your name. If you want to, you could probably go ahead and save this, control copy, because you're going to use it again when you actually do the screenshot save. So save in Paint 3D. Okay, so now that it's saved, so I'm going to go back. I want to toggle back and forth between your works because now you need to go to your photographic experiment and choose one of the photos that you did. So to do this, you're going to go back to your work. So you would normally choose one of your work here. I'm going to choose one of my examples that I did here. So I'm going to select this one because it's very colorful. I kind of like the way the colors set on here. So, so by clicking on this, I'm first going to you can either save it or you could just leave it on the screen. But you're going to need it bigger. So I'm pinching it to make it bigger here. So this is the work that I want to work, but I need to be able to work on both screen at the same time. So to do that, I'm going to click on the bar here, and I'm going to drag this to the corner, the side, the left or right side. It's up to you which one you want to do. And then when you do that, it's going to put this into this corner here, and then it's going to give you a choice on the other side, which one you want to have on the other half. So I'm going to click on the painting. Now, as you notice, now the canvas is way too big. So I'm going to kind of just shrink it down using this tool until I get the canvas in. Now, what I notice here is the picture's kind of disappeared. So what I can do is I can kind of unzoom. So let's see if it lets me. Okay, so we're back here. So I'm just going to move my screen over, take that same picture, and there it is there. So I'm just going to try to put it into the center and kind of zoom it into. Okay, So now what we need to do is we need to set our Paint 3D canvas to match the photograph. So here I'm going to go to canvas and I'm going to click on here to make the size kind of match. So if you go to the edge, you can adjust the sides of it. You can adjust them like this. If you go to a corner, it will use an aspect ratio lock, so you can just click on it and just kind of make it larger. So this is close, okay? You don't have to be exact. I'm okay with you not being exact. So now this is where we begin. We're going to just do stage one in this video, just so that you give an idea what to do. Stage two would be the middle process, and stage three is obviously the finished product. So stage one is the setup process, the layout, the composition. The first thing we're going to do is click away from canvas, go to brushes, and now we just want to kind of do the background here. So we notice that the background is kind of a tannish light color. So I'm going to go here. Down here, you have marker. Sorry. Up here, you have markers, the tools that you need. We're just going to use watercolor today. Okay, so just using the watercolor tool, the opacity means how transparent, light, how strong or solid the paint is. So we're going to set it to 100. Your thickness obviously is the size of the brush. So as you can see, the bigger you get, the more thick it can be. I don't think you can type in bigger, but let's try. Nope, the range is only between 200. So 200 is about all you can do to do the background. So this is my canvas here. Now, to be honest, my canvas is quite large. Um, I could probably sink my canvas down a little bit more. So what I can do is, because 33%, that means this is really large canvas. I'm going to bring it down a little bit more. And then let's see if I zoom into it. Okay, let's bring it down a little bit more. And then, because then that means you need to cover up a lot of space with the brush. So, because you're looking at this percentage here, then I'm going to zoom in about 66% now. So that means my brush size will be a little bit bigger than it was before. Just to be honest, just to be quicker, I'm going to shrink it down a little bit more. So that's closer to 100%. So this is fine actually. So I'm going to kind of zoom out, and there it is. All right, so go back to the brushes. Now, if you notice, the brush is very big. All right. So what we're going to do here is I need to do the background, and this color is a little bit almost similar. It's close, but it's not quite the same. But I'm happy with it. But you can always go here to adjust. I maybe need a little bit browner color, so I need to move my brush over to. This is the edit color, so you can move it around the box until you get the color you want. Click OK when you're happy with it. And so this is a closer color to what I was doing there. So here it is, just quickly. Now I'm using a mouse to do this, but I also lucky enough to have a very large computer screen that can use my finger. So I'm going to use my finger. You notice the mouse is moving now, but now I'm still coloring in the area. Okay, so I'm just using my finger to quickly color in this area, just to let you see what we're doing here. All right, so this is close enough to the background, and then obviously I have a foreground at the bottom here that's a different color. So now I'm going to go back to my color tool. Now this we're going to use this eyedropper tool a little bit later, but right now it's not that important. But I want to get this color here, so it's kind of like the same brown color. So I'm going to click on that brown again. This time it's a little bit, it's kind of yellowish. So let's do a slider here. So this is kind of a yellow orangey. So I'm going to move this here, so I kind of can get that color. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Then I'm going to color down here. Okay, so that's a little bit. It doesn't quite match. So I'll go back. Make it a little bit more darker, maybe. Let's try that one again. Okay, so this is a little bit closer, but now my brush is really big. So this is where you can go to the thickness of your brush and kind of change it. Change it to a size that makes it a little bit easier to work with. So this is just kind of this side here that kind of goes all the way to the side. Now, if the color doesn't match perfectly, that's okay. I just want you guys to at least show me the difference range of the different colors and just, make an attempt. Now, the top part here is going to be different. This is just the side part. So I'm going to go here. I want that to be a bit lighter. So I'm going to move this over the color until I can get a lighter color of that. And then I'm going to put it here. So then here, there you go. Start to put that light color in there. Try to draw that. So this is what we call the background. What we're doing is you always start off with the background when you're doing any kind of painting, just to kind of set it in there and stuff like that. Okay, so just kind of set it so that you can put your items, your subject in front of it. So this is pretty much it. Okay, so this is close enough. I mean, okay, so look, I made a mistake in this corner here where I did it, went over it. So instead of undoing, because if I click on the undo here, then it's going to really undo a lot of it. So I don't know where I messed up. So see, so I'm going to go back to redo until I can't redo anymore. Now what I'm going to do is, this is where the eyedropper come in. I want to fix this part, so I'm going to click on the color that I want. See, it changes color as you move around the screen. Click on that, and then that color is there again. So then I'm going to go and fix that area. Okay, so there you go. You can see me fixing it. All right, so this is the general idea. This is my background. I'm pretty happy with it. Maybe this back here has another color to it. If I wanted to use the I'm going to use the eyedropper tool again. Pick that color, go back to it in the rectangle of the box, the color box, and kind of find another color I could share uh, to kind of mix into the background. Go back, making it really large, and then kind of just put it in there, trying to get that different layer. There's actually a really kind of a bluish and a green color here, so let's try that. Go here, slide to green. It's kind of a blue-green color, so maybe I'll go to kind of a blue-green here. Then I'll select my color. Now here, because I want this one to be a little bit lighter, I don't need to use full opacity. I'm going to switch that down to somewhere around 50. I'm just going to kind of just put it there. The brush is a little bit big, but you get the general idea. Okay, didn't like those. I'm going to change those. I'm going to undo those real quick. Drop the brush size down. Then kind of click. There's some blue green on this edge here. Actually, I don't like that either. So I'm going to go back to making the brushes big. This is the beauty about working on a computer, is the ability to kind of change any mistakes we did. So okay, so this is better. I'll just lightly click. That looks more. That's kind of closer to what I want. That was too strong of a click, but it's okay. I'm happy with it. Okay, so just kind of clicking around the edges here just to show my background is a little bit different and has some more color sets to it. Okay. All right. So this is the background. Now we're going to go to working on the stuff here. So again, just like the background, work on the thing that's farthest away. So this purple bottle here is the farthest thing away. This is a very close color to it. The brush is not going to be too big, so adjust your brush so it works. So I'm going to say this bottle sits somewhere around this point here. Okay. So my brush is still too big, so I'm going to drop the size down, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just go ahead and make the bottle just with that color. This is all I want you to do for right now. Don't worry about anything else. So what's the next thing that's probably in the background? Now it looks like I kind of got it off here. It's not quite in the right direction. There's two things you can do here. You can use the select tool, the magic select, so you can kind of, let's see, Uh, if so, the item that I kind of want to move, I'm going to select it here. So I think this bottle can kind of maybe go. I'm selecting this tool, and then says next. Okay, so that's a tool I've selected. And then I say I'm done. I'm going to ask it to autofill the background to copy the background that I already have. So I'm going to kind of move this bottle, and you see when I'm moving it, the background kind of replaces itself. Not exactly all, but close enough. So I'm moving it just a little bit to here. I like it there. So I'm going to go back. I'm done with that. I'm going to go back to my brushes. Now the background is kind of messed up here. So what I can do is I can again use a color dropper, pick the color of the background here, and then go and fix that area. Okay. So just, oh, but my opacity is wrong. I need to set it back to 100. And then I can kind of clean up that area. So I moved it over a little bit because it was wrong. Okay, so the next thing is what I'm going to do is I need the blue bottle here. So again, the blue bottle should be at this stage. So I need to draw it here. So I'm going to put that blue bottle somewhere. It's closer. Yeah, it's closer to this edge. So I think I'm pretty close. Okay, again, I'm going to use my finger because it's a little bit more easier to control. So I'm drawing it here. So just like that. And then we have the next one. It would be this light green. It's kind of a light, the aqua color bottle here. So I'm going to go again with an aqua color. And that one's going to sit kind of in front of this bottle. So I'm going to put it. Now what's happened is that this thing has become an object. So it's moved in front of it. So let me see what I can do. What can I do with this object? This option. So okay, so this wasn't, I didn't expect this to happen. Here's the object again. What I want to do is I want to make this object kind of go to the background to be a part of the painting. So what, remove something, let's see, what can I do here? Okay, so I don't want to make it into but I want to make it into part of it into the background. So it doesn't seem like it's going to give me that option. So then this kind of doesn't work. Okay, so I'm just going to delete that object. Okay, so I've deleted it, the hint of it there. So uh, don't do that. Okay, so it's still there, but it's very light. And actually, I'm okay with that. That's okay. I like that light color that was there. So what I can do here is I can go ahead and color that part in again. So I go to brushes. Uh, I click on that color, and then I can go back and do that bottle that's in the background. So I can do that again. You get the idea. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my bottle, the other bottle here, the aquamarine. So I know the color's not exactly, but these are just the base color. I'm not too worried about it, just to give an idea of what that shape is that we have in the background. And then the other thing is that now I have another one that's here. It's kind of a gray blue, so I'm going to click on here, try to get that kind of a gray bluish color. And then there's this bottle that sits up here like this. So it's in between. Okay. So now the beauty about the computer also is that the ability, if you just pinch your work, you can zoom in, or you could use a slider at the top there to zoom into the areas you want to work on. Okay, but this is all I want. It's just the basic color. So I'm going to go now to the yellow color to make the flowers. So obviously now this, so my setting is a little bit off here because between the blue one here and this one, they're a little bit too close to each other. So one of this needs to be moved, or the whole thing needs to be moved to another side or something like that. That was a mistake. So maybe here. So another way is just do a select. A select means I'm just going to draw a box around everything, and then I'm just going to drag it over here. So I'm just moving it a little bit. I'm selecting it just to move it, and then for this background area, so like we done before, you can go back using the eyedropper tool, select the color you want, and fill in. Go back to brushes and brushes. Thank you. And then I don't know why it's still brushes. More select brushes, please. Oh, because I didn't select the brushes. Okay, so now back to brushes. I can color in that area that I moved. Okay, so you could do something like this. Again, eyedropper, get the background, go big again, kind of get the background here, faster. Okay, you can also clean up the line that it created on the edge when I moved it. I'll clean it up a little bit more later, just to give you the idea. So the table again, with a small brush to do this. Okay, so, oops, didn't mean to do that. So here we have kind of generally what I want. But the blue bottle, I'm not too worried about it. Just leave it. Okay, so here I'm putting in the flowers again. So again, clicking on the yellow to get the flower. Uh, so okay, and the yellow has some kind of black, dark black, but it's actually mostly brown. So adjust the color for brown, kind of make it almost dark, a dark brown put in here, here, and then we've got some greens for the leaves that go down the and stuff like that. The leaves. So maybe adjust, pick a color of the leaves that you want. Do the leaves like this. Generally, my brush is really big. Okay, so something along this line is fine. And then now the oranges. So I've got one orange over here. Oops, that's not orange, is it? So mistake, undo. We put orange, and then go here. One orange here, one orange here, and another orange here. So I might need to move this blue bottle, but I'm not too worried about it right now. So I'm going to click on orange because there's one in the background here is a little bit darker because we're looking at shadows and stuff like that. And this one, that's not even on the table. So that's an undo. Bring it closer to here. That means that these bottles should come down a little bit more. So again, click on this one. This should be in front of that orange. That's okay. So I'm just going to put it in front of that orange. So that orange should be more in the background. Click on it, choose that orange, and put it in the background, something like that. Okay, so I'm actually, this is it. This shows me a kind of representation of what we have on the other side here. So I'm just going to make this bottle a little bit darker. This one here, that's not darker. That's brighter. Okay, so maybe like this. Okay, maybe darker than that, so that I can see more clearly. Okay, so something along these lines. This is what I want to see. This is your stage one. It's the layout. It's where you have the basic backgrounds, color, and stuff like that of the shape of your subjects here. So again, I just wanted to make this bottle. That's it. This is stage one. And then what I want you to do here is we're going to click on here to take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. And then when you do that, it's going to ask you where to save it. Okay, so save it here. Now, I had my project name already, so I'm going to continue with the same thing. The name should be your name, your class, and then this, and then underscore, and this was my Morandi Digital Painting acronym. And here is where I put in stage one. That's it. So save that, and then once I've saved it, in your Google Classroom, you can submit it by attaching that one drawing. So today is only stage one is due from last time. So then I'm done here. Now I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to click save. Okay, so save your project because you've already saved it. You already created it before. So when you go to menu and you say open a new one, open or browse, it's going to appear here. Different projects you can work on. So here's one here that I was working on as an example, but I want to go back to the one that I just did, and this is stage one. Okay. All right. I hope you understand what you're supposed to do. I'm going to go ahead. Now what I can do is I can close this here because I've already saved it. I could expand. And I could probably shrink everything back down to normal size in your browser. One way to do that is just go here and just go to zoom 100. Okay, so, all right. Okay, thanks for watching my first stage tutorial video. I'm going to stop it now. Catch you later.